Well, hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Alex Harrington with a News 3 Now First Warn Weather Update Facebook Live event to offer you that opportunity for Q&A just like we did last night. I want to give a kudos to our entire team here. It's been an amazing day of coverage. We were the first Warn Weather team. We were the first to start talking about this winter weather event 10 days ago, and here it is. It's verified. We have verified 6 to 10 inch snowfall amounts. It's still coming down out there, folks, and we'll keep our alert day conditions going here for at least another couple of hours. Before we get to the questions and start thinking about them, maybe you already have some from watching our coverage today or watching our live shows. I want to do the nuts and bolts here, which is just to give you a recap of where you're at. Maybe this is the first time if you had to go to work today, or if you're working remotely, that you had an opportunity to catch up here on our winter weather events. We have winter storm warnings in effect until 3 a.m. Wednesday for south central Wisconsin, until 6 a.m. Wednesday for southwestern Wisconsin. And one of the reasons why that is, we have the bluffs over southwestern Wisconsin, so the blowing and the drifting, because we will keep the windy conditions overnight into early Wednesday, can make some of those roads a little bit more on the slick side and travel a little bit more on the difficult side in southwestern Wisconsin. Let's take a look at Doppler track right now. We see one more band. This is what we call the deformation zone, the backside of a weather system. And one more band here is developing, stretching from, let's say, Fond du Lac south and west, right through the heart of Madison, down towards our friends in Monroe. Areas to the north and west of there towards the Dells and Lone Rock where snow is lightening up. And then areas off towards the south and towards the east towards Janesville, you have what's called a little bit of a dry slot right now. But this whole band is going to move itself across the rest of southern Wisconsin. So Janesville, you can expect a little bit more snow here in a couple of hours. Zooming on in here, some of the communities impacted by the heart of this moderate band of snow: Sun Prairie, Madison, Cottage Grove, Fitchburg, really cutting right across the heart of the city, right across the Beltline. So if you're having to do any travel right now, you're probably seeing the snow intensity pick up on the Beltline. Again, zooming on out, friends down towards Janesville, you're probably wondering, where's the snow? There's a little bit more snow on the way for you. We can track that with our future track model here. Here's the exit of the snow, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Conditions should improve on your Wednesday slowly. But then we have another weather system. We've been talking about this one too. This one's not going to be as impactful as our current winter storm, but we'll be looking at snow overspreading the area widespread by midnight on your Thursday morning. This could bring a quick 1 to 2 inches of snow across southern Wisconsin, and look at that, ending right at that important rush hour time on Thursday. So you could have a slick go across all of southern Wisconsin on your Thursday morning. Then we have yet another alert day to track here. One winter storm to the next winter storm. This one looks significant as well. We've been watching this one for days as well. The difference with this winter storm in terms of our confidence with it is that this weather system has been meandering a lot more north and south. The other weather system that we're currently dealing with was much more consistent for days and days and days. There's some reasons behind that. One reason is the current weather system we're dealing with now. Prior to it, there was no snow, no cold over the upper Midwest, so our weather models have a better way to do a better job of calculating. Now that we have snow in place, now that we have bitterly cold temperatures on the way, those stark differences make those weather models a little bit more challenging, and the confidence in them, we have to sometimes get a little bit closer to the event to feel really confident about them. So I wanted to explain that meteorologically, why this weather system we're a little bit less confident about, but confident enough that we're expecting anywhere from 2 to 6 inches of snow. There could be more significant blowing and drifting with this one. Our current winter storm outside right now, there's some blowing and drifting, but it's of the wet, heavy variety. This is going to be the powdery stuff that really blows. And then that's Thursday night going through Friday, lasting into your Saturday morning. Let's track it. Friday, 2 o'clock in the morning, Lone Rock, Viroqua, Boscobel, Platteville, Mineral Point, if this weather model verifies, spreading into the rest of southern Wisconsin. This is now Friday, 6 o'clock, rush hour time frame. Again, plug out to Facebook, folks. You can be asking your questions in our live feed here, and I'll get to them in just a moment. Once we get through the nuts and bolts here, snow at the 6 o'clock rush hour on Friday. Saturday morning, snow across all of southern Wisconsin. Finally, the snow starts to let up as we get very late on your Saturday, perhaps not till midnight on that Sunday. Then we have alert day set number 3, bitterly cold temperatures. Wind chills could go as cold as 25 below zero Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning across the area. And we see that in the 7 to 10 day forecast here. Bitterly cold temperatures, even going way out into next week. We're the only station in town that does a 10-day forecast. Temperatures in the teens by next Thursday and Friday. That will feel pretty warm by the time we get out to that point. So that's the nuts and bolts here, folks. We'll go right up to kind of the beginning of my show here. I'm going to go over, I have another computer that has the access to Facebook, just to see if you have any questions at all. I might have to do a refresh on my end here. If you have any questions at all about this storm, the upcoming storms, try to do my best to answer them here. I don't see any questions actually at this point in time. Could be just that my end needs to load up here. So folks, you're absolutely welcome to ask questions. If you've got a question, chances are probably somebody else has the same question. That's how it goes from my teaching background. So and then we can do another little recap here. If you don't have any questions, that's okay. That's just fine. This weather system is ending. We have other impactful weather events ahead. If you're just dialing into Facebook Live right now, I'm actually going to go back to my graphic system here and talk about alert day number 2. So this is for Thursday night going into Friday, going into your Saturday, could even lasting into your Saturday night. Folks, we may have to extend this. We're looking at another significant winter storm, 2 to 6 inches of snowfall possible with this weather system. It could be more, but there's less confidence in this weather system's track. We're keeping a close eye on it for reasons I was just mentioning before. With this weather system we have today, we didn't have snow on the ground. Temperatures are pretty uniform across much of the upper Midwest, so weather models do better when things are static, so to speak. But now that we got fresh snow cover, really, really cold temperatures coming, weather models have a little bit more of a difficult time calculating that and getting an accurate projection. Then we have alert day set number 3 for bitterly cold temperatures starting Sunday, lasting into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, with wind chills as cold as 25 below zero. So we want to get ahead of that to be first to warn that once we have these impactful weather systems move by, then it's the cold air that sticks around for a couple of days, which is not shocking. When you have a deep snowpack, it actually helps to perpetuate this cold air that comes down from Canada. Cold air is very dense. It hugs very close to the ground. And when it moves over spans of snow, it doesn't modify. It just stays really, 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 really cold. So let's see if we have some questions at all. Oh, here we go. Here come the questions. What to expect for Wednesday morning commute? Wednesday morning commute, the snow will be done, but the winds will still be pretty gusty, probably in the order of 20 to 25 miles per hour. So still we'll see some blowing and drifting of the snow. This is that wet, heavy variety. I was just talking with one of our engineers who's been instrumental in getting us to and fro here at the station with his amazing four-wheel truck. Actually drove me into the station. Wednesday morning's commute could be a tough go across all of southern Wisconsin as we deal with the slick conditions out there. Temperatures will fall into the 20s tonight, so we're going to see some icing up of those roadways. How much more snow for Sun Prairie this evening? I'd say about another inch. We have one more band coming through right now. We can actually show that. Just 1 second here. I'll go back to my graphic system. I want to show you why we're going to probably have about 2 more inches of snow out of this weather system. Just one moment. And here we go. And this is the reason why, as we zoom in here over Madison, viewer from Sun Prairie, there you see yourself, you got a little bit of blue activity going on right now and a little bit of that darker color, which means it's in that moderate intensity. And with this band, this should be the very last band that moves across the area. It should end by the time we get to midnight. So see how that we have that one last band stretching from Fond du Lac south and west to Monroe, and then that should move off to the south and east. Friends in Janesville too, you'll see that snow turn on one more time for you, maybe again giving us another inch. Let's see, what are some of the snowfall totals so far? Check out also our Channel 3000 Facebook page. We had a post earlier today, and I'm actually on it looking at it. Folks are commenting on their post, on their totals. Widespread, 6, 7, 8-inch amounts. We had 8 inches here at the station. I was measuring it multiple times today during our live feeds. Another thing to keep in mind, too, with this wet snow, it's heavy and wet, so it's got weight. It's not that dry, fluffy type. So when you stick the ruler down into the ground, you got, it shows 8 inches. It may have actually been a little bit more than that, and we'll be able to get that information from the National Weather Service as everything wraps up probably tomorrow morning. Why could it be a little bit more than 8 inches here at the studio? The weight of it compacts, it kind of settles down. So that's why the totals that I said 8 could be a little bit more inflated in actuality. Let's see if we, how much snow on Friday? That's a great question. I also saw a note here. So glad I moved to Florida. If you're not if you don't enjoy the snow, this really isn't the best forecast for you, unfortunately. Let's look at our expectation for Alert Day event number 2. We're in Alert Day event number 1. For Friday right now, the First Warn Weather Team, we're eyeing up 2 to 6 inches of snowfall. It could be more than that. I was mentioning before, this storm that's Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday, the weather models are not as consistent in the track. It's consistent showing a storm for sure, but the track is a little bit more variable. And I mentioned last night during a Facebook live feed why this is. Weather models have all kinds of input. They take all this data, they number crunch, and then like hitting the enter button on this keyboard, they go and they extrapolate out into the future. The previous weather system that we've been tracking for 10 days on the First Warn Weather Team, there's been uniform temperatures across a large part of the Midwest. There's no snow, so that when you have no snow and uniform temperatures, that input data into the weather models, it allows that weather model to output more consistently. Now we've got a fresh snowpack across a good portion of the Midwest. We have bitterly cold temperatures coming. That's Alert Day event number 3. And when you have a snowpack and stark differences in temperatures, we're 30-ish out there right now, or 31, and when we're going to see temperatures below 0 and then wind chills as cold as 25 below 0, that's a sharp difference over a short period of time, and weather models have a tendency to have a more difficult time discerning a track with that when you have all of those stark differences in mind. So right now, we're thinking 2 to 6 inches of snow from that Thursday night going through that Saturday morning time frame. But I want to let you folks first know now, this is why you tune in to channel3000.com. This is why you download the First Warn Weather app on your phone and tune into our live broadcast, because we will be first to let you know if the storm track's going to change and if those amounts are going to change. Driving, a couple other things. Driving in Iowa on Interstate 80 Wednesday morning. What can we expect for road conditions? Very similar to what we're experiencing now, although I-80 is a well-traveled road. Although it is out in that flat terrain, so there will probably still be some snow, maybe blowing across the road on I-80, but conditions should be improving because that is a pretty well-traveled road that's, from my understanding, very well taken care of. Hopefully that answers that question. Unfortunately, some folks are reporting they have power out. Yes, we've had multiple reports of power outages. This is that heavy, wet snow. We even have a tree down here in the studio, and with that heavy weight of that snow, that can bring down some limbs and that can bring down some power lines, and that could continue through the rest of the night tonight. So actually, from me to you, I grew up in the country, and what we do when we expect, I grew up near Rena. What we do when we expect the possibility of power outages, you get some pots and pans, and you put some water in it, just in case the power goes out, in case you need some water, or if your pets need some water too. Have some candles, and if you still have power, you should be powering up the batteries on your portable batteries and anything, just so that they got a good charge. Not expecting super widespread power outages tonight, but there still could be a couple. I appreciate the thank you. Yes, I really enjoy doing these conversations. This is my time where I get to have that conversation with you and get to know you folks more as viewers. It means a lot to me, so thank you. Let's see if we have any other questions. Let's see here. No other questions currently, but that may change here. I'll do one more brief recap, see if we have a couple more questions, and then we'll let you folks go to hopefully be sitting in the warmth of your house with some hot cocoa and fire in the fireplace, if you got that. School outlook for tomorrow. I would not be surprised if there's quite a few 2-hour delays tomorrow. probably less in the way of full-on cancellations because conditions are improving overnight tonight, and we may still have some slick spots to deal with on your Wednesday morning. But I grew up in Southwest Wisconsin. They're pretty River Valley. We'll give a plug to those folks. They have a wide geographic reach and a lot of terrain differences, so the roads are probably going to be pretty slick. So if you are in a school district that has a lot of those secondary roads that you have to deal with, wouldn't be shocked to see 2-hour delays tomorrow morning. And some other folks, schools. Yep, a couple of questions here about the schools. Here's a good question coming in. Ooh, I grew up on a farm, and I've run into this personally from a farming standpoint. With the upcoming freezing cold, is it a good idea to let my faucet and other water sources drip? So, as we look here at our graphic, as we go into this bitterly cold period, Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, probably not a bad idea to let that faucet drip a little bit. Growing up on the farm, that's what we do on some of our outdoor water areas for our cattle, is we let that drip just a little bit so that we don't get the pipes to freeze and then they burst. Then you got cold water everywhere. Cattle are in it, and it's just a mess. Remember that vividly, December, Christmas of 2000, cleaning up a mess just like that. All right, folks. Got to do some more live cut-ins, get some preparation for our affiliated Fox show, and then, of course, tune in live at 10 for the latest. I just want to say thank you again for tuning into this live Facebook event. I'm going to do one more recap of our 3 alert days, and we'll let you folks go here. All right, one moment, please. I got to juggle a couple of different computers. There we go. Alert day number 1. That's the alert day we're dealing with right now. Again, we were first to warn about this 10 days ago. We saw this storm consistently, and we were first to put out totals, and it verified. This should end tonight with conditions improving tomorrow morning, although to that question, still will see slick spots on your Wednesday morning. Would not be surprised to see some 2-hour delays, maybe some isolated cancellations for those areas that have a lot of secondary roads that might still be pretty icy tomorrow morning. Then heads up on alert day number 2. A significant storm potentially impacting all of southern Wisconsin Thursday night, Friday, going into your Saturday as well. Right now, upwards of 2 to maybe as much as 6 or more inches with this weather system. If it tracks right, we're keeping an eye on this one. The consistency in this weather system's track has not been as good as this current weather system. And then alert day number 3 to first warn here as part of our efforts from the First Warn Weather team, from us to keep you on top of things and first on top of things. Bitterly cold temperatures will follow through behind this other weather system with wind chills as cold as 25 below zero. Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and Wednesday morning. All right. Thank you, folks, very much for joining this live Facebook event, and we will keep you. We've got live cut-ins coming, and we've got our 9 o'clock show on Fox, and we have our 10 o'clock show on Channel 3. See you on TV.